You've nailed your wardrobe. You've perfected your style. But something still feels off, doesn't it? You walk into a room and somehow her eyes slide right past you. Why? Because attraction isn't about the outfit you wear, it's about the details, the things most men never notice, but every woman subconsciously scans in seconds. I'm Amelia, and welcome to Dark Psychology, where we uncover what really pulls women in, the things they'll never admit they notice, but always do. So, today I'm going to expose the 10 things women secretly stare at on men, the micro signals that tell her whether you're unforgettable or invisible. And trust me, most guys have no clue. Let's start with the first one. 1. The condition of your hands and nails. Here's a truth most men never hear. Your hands are a mirror of your discipline. When a woman looks at your hands, she's not admiring your strength. She's measuring your standards. Think about it. Your hands are constantly visible. When you gesture, when you shake hers, when you reach for your glass, they tell a silent story about you. Are you precise? Do you care? Are you presentable even in the smallest details? Clean, well maintained nails whisper self respect. Dry, cracked skin or uneven nails scream neglect. And women notice, even when they pretend not to. A chipped nail, rough knuckle, or dirty cuticle tells her you rush through life, that you don't value the subtle touches that separate men from boys. The fix? Simple but powerful. Trim your nails regularly. Keep your hands moisturized. Once in a while, get a professional manicure. Not for vanity, but for precision. Because the man who pays attention to details others overlook is the man women remember after the handshake ends. And when she watches your hands, she imagines how they'd feel. That's where subtle attraction begins. Not in your words, but in your maintenance. 2. How your shoulders fill a doorway. Every woman feels it before she sees it. That moment when a man walks into a room and changes the energy, it's not about his muscles, it's about his presence. When you step through a doorway, you're silently communicating one thing: I belong here. Slouching or shrinking to fit the space sends the opposite message: I'm unsure. Straighten your spine, broaden your stance. Not exaggerated, not performative. Just own your space, because confidence isn't noise, it's quiet posture. When you walk into a cafe, a meeting, or a date, let your shoulders lead before your words do. That subtle widening, that composed stride, it triggers something primal in her brain. It says, here's a man who doesn't seek permission to exist. You could be average height, average build, doesn't matter. What matters is how you carry the frame you've got. Presence beats size, energy beats appearance every time. And if you think these first two details are small, wait until you hear the next ones. Because what's coming next reveals how women evaluate your entire aura before you even say a word. The third one, it's so subtle most men never think about it. But once you fix it, your entire presence transforms. Every man believes women fall for the obvious, the jawline, the outfit, the smile. But women are far more attuned than that. They study the micro details, the small, silent cues that reveal who you really are beneath the surface. And nothing gives that away faster than what I'm about to tell you next. 3. The sharpness of your collar and cuff line. You can spend hundreds on designer shirts, but if your collar is limp and your cuffs are wrinkled, you've already lost half your presence before you've said a word. Because here's the truth: sharp lines signal sharp discipline, and discipline is masculine energy in physical form. When your shirt sits clean on your shoulders, when your collar holds its shape and your cuffs hug your wrist just right, it tells her something primal. This man pays attention. You're not just dressing to impress, you're dressing to command. It's not about fashion, it's about control. Control of your appearance, control of your impression, control of the message you send when you walk into a room. A crumpled cuff or sagging collar whispers, I rush. A crisp one says, I prepare. Iron your shirt. Invest in structure. Pay attention to symmetry. These details seem small, but they're not, because women don't fall for how you look. They fall for what your look says about your mind. And a sharp man radiates precision. Now, let's talk about something far more powerful, something you never think about, but every woman instantly reads the moment she looks at you. 4. Your resting expression in a crowd. Your face when you're not trying. That's what tells her everything. When you're standing in line at a cafe waiting for your drink, when you're scrolling your phone, when you think no one's watching, she's watching. Your resting expression reveals your inner world. A tight jaw, furrowed brow, or stiff lips send one message: tension, discomfort, insecurity. But a calm, neutral expression, soft eyes, loose jaw, a faint trace of composure on your lips that signals a man who owns his energy. You don't need to force a smile. You don't need to act happy. You just need to be still, because stillness is confidence. It's the language of men who don't seek validation. When you walk into a social event, your face becomes a mirror of your emotional control. If you look tense, people feel it. If you look calm, people trust it. And trust, when mixed with mystery, is one of the most intoxicating emotional combinations a woman can feel. So practice it. Relax your shoulders, unclench your jaw, let your eyes soften slightly. Because when your energy says, I'm comfortable in my own silence, you don't chase attention, you attract it. You see, the real power isn't in what you show, it's in what you withhold. That's why the next signs are even more dangerous, because they're about motion, touch, and how you reveal control without saying a single word. The kind of control that makes women stare without realizing why. We've talked about how you look. Now, let's talk about how you move. Because movement, when done right, is magnetic. It's not what you wear that she remembers. It's how you carry it, how your body flows through space. Calm, deliberate, controlled. When you learn to move with purpose instead of reaction, you stop being just another man in the room and you become the one she feels before she even sees. 5, the way you hold a glass or a phone. You might think no one notices this, but she does every single time. When you hold something in your hand, you're revealing your state of mind without a word. A man who grips his glass too tightly looks nervous. A man who constantly checks his phone looks restless. Both send the same silent signal: insecurity. But the man who holds his glass lightly, effortlessly, who lets it rest naturally in his hand as if it belongs, their project's total control. You don't cling, you don't fidget, you flow. It's the difference between holding a drink and commanding a presence. Try this next time you're out. Instead of gripping your phone like a lifeline, set it down. Be present. When you do, she'll notice, not consciously, but emotionally. She'll feel your stillness, your composure, because calm men don't cling. And in a world of restless energy, calm is addictive. 6, the cleanliness of your shoes, heels, and soles. Every woman looks at a man's shoes, not for style, but for discipline. You can wear 1,000 suit, but if your shoes are scuffed, the illusion breaks instantly, because your shoes are your foundation. Literally, they're what your confidence stands on. When a woman glances at them, she's not just checking for fashion. She's asking herself one question: if he ignores something this small, what else does he neglect? Clean soles, polished heels, crisp edges. They all tell her the same thing. You pay attention, you value quality, you finish what you start, so keep them spotless. Not for vanity, for symbolism. Because clean shoes don't just say, you take care of yourself. They say, you respect every step you take. That's the kind of detail that separates temporary attraction from lasting fascination. 7, the confident slowness of your gestures. Now this one. This one's where true masculine energy lives. Speed reveals insecurity. Stillness reveals control. Watch any powerful man. He never moves fast unless he chooses to. Every motion feels intentional. His gestures are slow, smooth, deliberate. And because of that, people hang on every move he makes. When you rush, you tell the world, I'm reacting. When you slow down, you tell it, I'm in charge. Women feel that difference instantly. It's not about pretending to be slow, it's about embodying calm. When you pick up your drink, adjust your jacket, or point to something, do it like time bends around you. The slower your gestures, the more powerful your energy becomes. Because stillness pulls focus. Imagine you're speaking in a group. Everyone's fidgeting, looking around, moving fast. And then there's you, centered, deliberate, unhurried. You become gravity in human form. That's dominance without aggression. That's control without saying a word. See the pattern yet? Everything that draws a woman in is rooted in one thing: how you handle energy. The man who controls his pace, his touch, his silence controls the entire interaction. But there's one last layer left, the kind that takes your presence from impressive to unforgettable. And it's hidden in your expression, your kindness, and your smallest details. Because women don't just watch how you move, they watch how you treat the world around you. By now, you understand something most men never do. Women don't fall for your looks, they fall for your energy, for how you move, how you carry yourself, how you treat the world around you when no one's watching. Because attraction doesn't stop at your shoulders or your hands. It goes deeper into the micro behaviors that whisper who you really are. And that's what we're uncovering now. The last three things women can't help but stare at, even if they never admit it. 8. The authenticity of your smile lines. Let's start with something beautifully human. Your smile, not the fake one you flash for photos, the real one that happens when you actually feel something. A genuine smile isn't about your lips, it's about your eyes. It's about the subtle lines that form when emotion reaches your core. Women are biologically wired to read faces, and they can instantly tell when your smile is real or forced. A genuine smile, one that softens your eyes, one that crinkles slightly at the corners, tells her you're grounded, warm, approachable. It says, I'm at ease with myself. But a tense, half hearted grin that reads as insecurity or performance. You don't have to smile all the time. You just have to mean it when you do. Because authenticity is rare. And in a world full of masks, realness feels magnetic. When you smile with truth behind it, you radiate something money, looks, or muscles can't fake. Emotional intelligence, and that is sex appeal most men will never master. 9. The way you acknowledge a service worker. This one seems small, but it's one of the biggest subconscious filters women use. Every woman pays attention to how you treat people who don't owe you anything. The waiter, the cashier, the barista who hands you your drink. Because those interactions reveal your true nature. When you smile at them, say, thank you, and make eye contact, you show that your confidence isn't arrogance. It's grace. And grace is power under control. A man who's kind to strangers signals emotional stability, empathy, and quiet strength. He doesn't need to look down on anyone to feel tall. But the man who ignores or dismisses others, she'll notice that too. And she'll never forget it. Because respect isn't selective, it's a lifestyle. So next time someone serves you, remember your tone, your acknowledgement, your body language. All of it adds to the story she's writing about you in her mind. And that story determines whether you're temporary or timeless. 10. The smallest details tell the biggest story. The final thing, women stare at everything. The way you straighten your collar, the way you adjust your watch, the way you listen when she talks. Because the truth is, women don't fall for perfection. They fall for consistency. It's not one grand gesture. It's the small repeated signals that build trust, attraction, and curiosity over time. When you move with awareness, when you care for yourself intentionally, You project something unspoken but powerful. I know who I am. And that's what captivates her because women don't crave a man who's flawless. They crave a man who's present, who makes every detail, even the smallest one, look deliberate. So don't underestimate the power of small things. A clean shoe, a calm tone, a confident smile. Each piece tells the world who you are before you even speak. Master those and you'll never need to chase attention again. It will chase you. So let's recap. The hands, the shoulders, the smile, the posture, the pace, they're not random. They're reflections, reflections of how much command you have over yourself. Because when a woman sees a man who's composed, kind, and self aware, she doesn't just see attraction, she sees security, she sees strength, she sees the kind of man she can't stop thinking about. Because true attraction isn't loud, it's silent and it's built one subtle detail at a time. So, here's my challenge to you. Tonight, before you go to bed, look in the mirror and ask yourself, would I be drawn to me? If the answer is no, start small. Fix one detail tomorrow your posture, your tone, your shoes, your expression, because that's how transformation begins. Not overnight, but through disciplined refinement. And when you master that, you won't just catch women's eyes, you'll hold them. If this video gave you something to think about, hit like, subscribe to Dark Psychology, and comment below saying, Details define desire. Because next week, I'm revealing something even more powerful the subconscious behaviors that make women chase men without realizing why. I'm Amelia, and this is Dark Psychology, where desire meets control and control becomes power.